caravan sites only supply 6 amp. Take the 6 amp challenge.
Hello, I'm Janet. Sometimes sites only have 6 amp electric hookup, and that can cause all sorts of problems. You see people running in and out of the caravans because they've tripped the switch on the main hookup. And the reason is not down to the owner of the site, it's more often than not down to the people who haven't used the equipment in the caravan with a little bit of sense and thought. Once we've arrived on a site that has 6 amp hookup, we've connected up and we've come in, and I'm going to change my fridge from leisure battery to electric hookup. So here we go. I've been on leisure battery while I'm travelling, and I'm going to change it to 240 volt electric hookup mains. Now this is a piece of equipment that I could choose to run on gas, and that's a decision you have to make for yourself. But on 6 amp I'm perfectly happy running our fridge from the main hookup. We're also very lucky that we have a 100-watt solar panel on the roof of this van, and that, under the right weather conditions, charges our leisure battery for us. If you haven't got a solar panel, you've got to take into account that your leisure battery will occasionally request power from the 6 amp electric hookup. Now only you can work that one out. I know in the background at the moment now my fridge is running from the 6 amp electric hookup. The next thing I do is find the kettle, fill it with water, turn it on and let it fully boil. Then I switch it off because I need to think about getting some hot water. So I'm going to need to turn on the Alde heating system in the van. And to do that I have to turn on the control panel here. Now I've turned that on, the boiler will have come to life, and in its memory will be the settings from our last place. So I need to go in the menu and see what I've got set up. And as we can see, it's on 2 kilowatt. Now I need to reduce that, and I need to do it now. I'm going to reduce it to 1 kilowatt. There we go. Why have I done that? This heating system in this van will draw up to 9 amps of electricity. We haven't got 9 amps of electricity, have we? We've only got 6. So by leaving it on 2 amp, I would have tripped the system already, and I'd be running out and setting the electric hookup again. By reducing it down to 1 kilowatt, the boiler will only draw up to 4.5 amp. That's fine. I'm using up to 4.5 with the boiler, the fridge is on in the background, and I've got a little bit to spare. I'm safe. I'm not going to trip the system. The other thing on the setting would be the inside temperature thermostat. So we'll just go back and have a little peep at that. And as you can see, it's on 14. This is the number on the top. And I really don't need it as high as that. I'm going to reduce that down to 10. So here we go. It goes down in increments of 5. And there it is on 10. If the inside temperature goes below 10, it will cut in. But it will run more efficiently by being set on 10. The boiler can now just think about the water for me. The efficiency of the boiler isn't going to be as good running on 1 kilowatt as it would be if I ran on 2, but I can't. You could choose to run your boiler on gas, or you could run a combination of gas and electric. Again, it's the decision you have to make. We're quite happy running our boiler on the 1 kilowatt on a 6 amp hookup. Now you know why I boiled the kettle first, because we can go and have a nice brew while the water takes at least half an hour to warm up. Let's say now we've fast forwarded half an hour or so, and I'm going to think about making something to eat. The cooker has an electric ring, and I actually like using the electric ring to make our meal. And we've worked out in this van that I can use the electric ring, I can have the fridge on, and we can have the television on at the same time perfectly happily, so long as I have already switched off this control unit, because I don't know when that's going to be working in the background, do I? By turning it off, I certainly know it isn't working in the background, so I can safely use the ring. Let's say I wanted to use the microwave. I wouldn't use the microwave and the ring at the same time. I would just use the microwave. And once I'd finished using the microwave, I would turn it off. I believe this particular microwave turns itself off after 10 minutes. I've never even tried it. I always switch it off myself, so I know there's absolutely no current going to that piece of equipment. The other very interesting scenario, and we have made the odd mistake in the past, is if you have a shower. Obviously you would have your control panel on so that the water would be heating as you're using it in the shower. And if, like me, when you've had your shower you want to use the hairdryer, don't just switch the hairdryer on, please. Come through here, switch the control panel off again, and then go and use your hairdryer. Otherwise you're going to be running across the field again with wet hair because you've tripped the system. You've always got to remember what's going on in the background. Your fridge is always going on in the background, and if you leave your control panel on, the water can be heating up in the background and you're not aware of it. So don't use your hairdryer straight after your shower unless you turn your control panel off. During this video I've just tried to explain the combination of equipment to use or not to use if you're on 6 amp. If you went abroad you would actually find you'd be on less than 6 amp on some occasions. So you really do need to understand your own van and what you can use. Your support is very important to us. If you would like to subscribe to our channel Useful Wisdom, please click the kite icon here. We also have a playlist, and if you would like to watch more of our videos, please click the icon here. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.